Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Cuphead, the fast dice rolling game. This is a timed game where you're rolling dice as fast as you can, trying to get certain icons. And it brings the world of Cuphead, the video game, onto your board gaming table. Now, this was a great Christmas present for my daughter, and one I really adore. And the reason for that is because the game can be solo or up to 4 players, and it's something I can play with her. It rolls fast. The game is extremely hard, which is just like the video game, if you're familiar with it at all. Woo! Difficult. And the game's going to come down a lot. Can you roll what you need within 20 seconds? And we play it on 20 seconds. There's a version to do 10 or 15 that's harder, but no thanks. This game is hard enough without it. The rule set is fairly simple. I think you can teach this up and running in a couple minutes, and you can understand what you're trying to do. Beating them and going through the 8 boxes is fine. There is 8 boxes in the game. I think it gives you a lot of replayability as you go back through. Even though technically you're doing the same thing, there are twists to it. And there is a saving mechanism where you can kind of build up your character as you go. And that is interesting and fun. There's a lot of care that went into this game. All the artwork is fantastic. Cuphead has some of the best artwork in the video games. That's all here. The components are good. They put a lot of different characters in here. There was a lot of care that was done to this for what is essentially such a simple dice rolling game. And I think it really works to have a lot of fun with it. It isn't something going to be a strategic example of what a Euro is going to be. It is strictly rolling dice. It is quite overproduced. There's a lot more content than the game likely deserves. But if you're familiar with Cuphead or have a Cuphead fan in your family, this is going to hit the target for them exactly. And for my taste and to play with my daughter, this is going to be a keeper. Here is Cuphead, the fast rolling dice game. First thing to notice is how thick this game is. There's a lot inside here. 600 pieces, 8 bosses, 24 custom dice. This is a much bigger box and game than you would think from the IP and from how easy the game is to play. When you open it up, you're going to have these different player boards. These are really nice with different artwork from the characters from the show and different colors. So they're pretty nice. You have a save sheet because there's a little bit of a campaign mode in here if you want to go through it. A rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. And then the other 2 characters. You're going to have Cuphead himself and Mugman. So you're going to have 4 options. This will be the spinner. It comes together for the villains that you play. It does move a little bit easy here. It's not terrible, but it works pretty well. You can have a place to put the cards, and this is really just that. It's something to put the cards onto. You're going to have a number of chits, and these are all be things from the game. They're pretty good. And everybody's going to get custom dice. These dice are really nice, thick, very good. And you're going to get any number of cards here. So you're going to have some wall-up cards that you have, and they're fairly good quality with different artwork on them and icons, etc. Have some of these item cards that you can use to upgrade. Everything has a nice, real good feel to it. You're going to have some envelopes, which I haven't opened yet, but these are envelopes that you can't open as the game goes on. They come sealed. Then you're going to have 8 of these boxes that will basically be 8 different villains you can go to. This is not any spoilers here. I'm not going to show you these 7, but for this one, you're going to open this up when it first comes in. The cards are going to come with a list of each card deck. Fantastic. Love that. And then a stop card. You'll have the bad guy and then a deck of cards. And then you'll see another stop card that you don't go through. And each of the decks like this. So when you pull it out, you don't shuffle it. You just kind of start playing like this. These are very, very nice. You got tuck boxes all came with it. Everything fits in here perfectly. Great job with the components. Here is the rule book for Cuphead. You can see a picture of that. You have a picture of all the components. First thing you notice about the game is it all comes full pictures, and it looks fantastic. The presentation is wonderful. You're going to have setup over here. Bleeds a little bit on this page, and then a how to play. Right here is a quick start, and it kind of gets you going from there, and it takes you through all the rules. Different colors are used to highlight certain things. You're going to see examples through here and plenty of pictures of the different items. I found this to be very, very good. Now, the part where I was a little confused was down here in Pork Rind's Emporium. It took me a little while to kind of figure out how to utilize this. It's very strange, and that's more for the campaign mode. The original game will kind of move here. And then you're going to have on the results, the next steps. This is all stuff right here if you want to go to the campaign mode. If you don't, then you would just ignore it. There are some solo rules that are here, as you can see as you go through. and then a cheat sheet on the back. I found the rulebook to be very good. I did have some questions about the campaign mode that wasn't fantastic in here, but if you just want to play the game, this will get you through it really quickly. The game's going to be very simple. You're going to put your 3 hit points out. You're going to grab your dice. You're going to take the deck of cards here, which will already be shuffled, and you'll have your bad person. This will tell you how many hit points based on the number of players. So if one with 6, playing with 4, he would have 12 hit points. Then you're going to take the deck of cards. You're going to take all the cards off the deck until you get to a stop, and that will become your draw pile. You can shuffle that up, and you're ready to go. I should note there is an app that you can utilize for the game. You press start, you put how many players in, what boss number you're on, the timer that you want, and you start it. And when you're ready to play, you let the timer go off. And then it'll kind of go through the timer for you and kind of cycle through. You can stop it if you need to by pressing this button. You know, if you ended it early, or if you're ready, you can go ahead and go. If you KO, it'll go ahead and go through, but it'll just count down the time for you. If you KO, then you would put how many remaining hit points, parries, wallops, etc., and it would give you a final grade. Obviously, I didn't do very well because we didn't play the game. What you're going to do on a turn is you're going to start, before you start the timer, you're going to put out 3 cards. Now, if a wallop card comes out, you put an additional card out. On your turn, once the timer is started, you're going to roll these dice as quickly as you can. And what you're trying to do, now when you place dice, you'll see these are color-coded. I can only press in this area first, then this area, and then this. So once I skip over this area and go here, I can never go back. What I'm trying to do is match up these icons. So this wants a foot, and then maybe I'll put a pea shooter there. I'll tell you why in a second. The next one requires 2 feet. I don't have any. The double feet doesn't count as 2 separate 1 foots. So once again, while the timer is going, I'm rolling as quickly as I can. Now, at any point, if I wanted to skip ahead, I could. I got one of those there. So let me do that. And then I got one more of this. And then we'll just say the timer ran out. So what this is going to let me do is I successfully blocked him on that one. But because I had a pea shooter, I will take his energy down 1. And anytime it only requires 1 icon, you can use the second one or the first one, doesn't matter the order, as a pea shooter. It tells you right here it will deal a damage. On this one, I gave up 2 of these icons, so I successfully blocked it, but it took both my spots. There's no place to put a pea shooter on one of these that has 2. This last one, I didn't do at all. So I didn't place anything there, so I would lose a hit point. If I ever lose all of my hit points, the other player can give up a parry token, which can be earned by defeating certain cards, and that can bring me back to life with just 1 hit point. If a player loses all of their health and the other player cannot bring them back to life, or there's no parry tokens, then both players will lose. After you defeat and do enough damage to defeat this bad guy, then you will move on to the second one in phase 2, and then possibly the one in the third phase. If you beat the one in the third phase, you will get a knockout card, which will give you a number of coins. If you're able to defeat all of that, the players will get a coin, and those coins will allow you to buy upgrade cards that you can use later on. And that what they'll usually do is give you hearts or allow you to move up and upgrade your pea shooter so you can do more damage as you're playing the harder opponents. And that's really how you play Cuphead. You're just trying to roll the dice as quickly as possible to match the icons. Who should buy this game? Now, this is not a game that a lot of people are going to want. If you're a Cuphead fan, I think this will fit a niche for you. If you want a dice rolling game that's quick, timed, everything's played in real time, maybe that you'll play with your kids or something, I think this will hit the bill. This is not going to be something for the Euro guy who wants the next deepest Euro. This is a roll the dice as quickly as possible and try to match icons game. That's going to narrow it down to exactly who would enjoy this. For me and my daughter, it's enough. We've had some good times with it, and I look forward to playing with it again. And it's not a really that bad game solo. I've really enjoyed it for solo players are going to get like this if they like that frantic nature of rolling the dice. For me and her, it's going to be a keeper.